Hi everybody and welcome back. Today I'm going to show you how to adjust the auger belt idler pulley on your Honda Snowblower. Some of the symptoms you may have when the idler pulley needs to be adjusted is that when you go to move some snow and you engage the auger, it's not going to shoot out the snow like it should. So in other words, when you engage the augers, they're going to turn perfectly fine when there's no snow going in or no load. And what's going to happen when you get it under load, like when you're blowing some snow, they're going to stop turning because the belt is slipping off the engine pulley. And again, that's because the idler pulley needs to be adjusted to put more tension on the belt that is grabbing on the engine pulley. So the blower I have today is a Honda HS 928. And even though I'm doing this on a Honda snowblower, the same principle will apply to most snowblowers. The only difference today is I'm going to show you exactly how to do it on this Honda snowblower because there's a lot of stuff to remove to do this. So what I'm going to start by doing is removing the two screws over here. And they're Phillips. Usually they're all Phillips screws, but the guy lost a screw and put a bolt instead. Now on the other side of the blower you want to get the screw over here as well. And right underneath the chute over here there's another screw that needs to be removed. And you're also going to have to remove the headlight. And you're going to need a 10mm socket and a ratchet. And there's a bolt on the other side of the headlight that needs to be removed as well. And now just grab the headlight and lift it up. And you can just leave it over here for now. At this point you want to remove the 12mm bolt here that holds the headlight bracket. And you can leave the bracket on here because it's in there with the rubber grommet. And now you can lift up the whole plastic cover, and just be careful when you do this because you don't want to break any part of it. And the auger idler pulley I'm talking about is this pulley right here. If you're not sure which one is the auger belt, what you can do is push down the auger lever and you can see the parts moving, so you'll know you're working on the right pulley. Now, so I can show you better and make it easier to adjust that pulley, I'm going to remove the two 10mm bolts here that hold this bracket. It's going to come out of the way, then we can access that idler pulley much easier. Just going to grab my ratchet with a 10mm socket. Now I'm going to grab the bracket and just move it out of the way. There's stuff attached to it, so don't pull too hard. We just want to get it out so we can access the pulley much easier. So basically the major problem is that when this is engaged, the belt is still too loose on this pulley over here. So like I said, when the blower's under load, this belt here will slip off this pulley and the augers just can't keep up. So to adjust that pulley and make it so that the belt is tighter when it's engaged, you have to loosen this 12mm nut right here where my finger is. Now this is the back of the pulley, and as you can see where my finger is, there's like a groove here that you can slide this whole bolt. This has probably never been adjusted. With it adjusted in this position, the pulley is at its furthest from the belt when you engage the auger system. Still going to tighten up the belt, but not as tight as it should, especially over the years when your belt gets worn out a bit. So as you can see, we still have quite a bit of play here to adjust that pulley. So I'm going to loosen the front nut on the pulley, then I'm going to slide it forward toward the engine, and then when the auger is engaged, the belt will be much tighter. Okay, so now I'm going to go in with a 1/4" ratchet and a 12mm socket. Now you don't need to hold the back side of the bolt because it's kind of locked in there. So all you have to do is loosen it. You do not have to take the nut right off. You just want to loosen the nut enough so you can slide the pulley forward in that groove I showed you in the back. And now as you can see, I can move the pulley forward very easily once that nut is loose. So the pulley was right here. I'm going to put it about halfway up and then tighten up the nut. Now reach down with your 12mm socket and your ratchet. Make sure you hold the pulley where you set it earlier. And now tighten up the nut. Now that you're done adjusting that pulley and the nut is tightened up, put the bracket back up where it should be. Line it up with the holes, put the 2 bolts back on. And now tighten up the 2 bolts. And now when you press down on the auger lever, you're going to see that the belt is much tighter around the pulley. As you can see there, it's not going to slip off the pulley. Previously what was going on is because the idler pulley wasn't going in enough that way, the belt was still loose on the pulley. So it's pretty simple. All you have to do sometimes is just adjust the idler pulley. If you adjusted the idler pulley like I did in this video and you still find that your blower's not blowing the snow like it should and that the belt is slipping, at that point what you need to do is replace the belt. What happens sometimes is the belt stretches over time, it gets worn on the sides and it's not tight around the pulleys like it should. So now that that's all done, I'm going to put the cover back on. Just be careful putting it back on because you don't want to break it. Now I'm going to reinstall the bolt by the headlight bracket. You want to make sure that the bracket is turned this way here, with the little notches here pointing toward the front of the blower. And now you can put the headlight back in, and the little notches here will match up. And now reinstall the 10mm bolts on each side of the headlight. And make sure to tighten these up. Now you need to install the 2 screws at the bottom over here. And on this side of the blower you have a screw that goes over here and you have another one over here. I don't have enough snow to try it out right now, but I do know with the belt being tighter like that it's going to blow the snow much further. So thanks again for watching. Make sure to subscribe, it's always free, and I'll see you next time.